and that's the So we're doing this casting thing, Dad. And I know we've not actually spoken for a while, have we?
No.
No, but this is about a subject that we know and we love, and I mean, it's your fault, basically. I'm being obsessed with football and grassroots, which is what they're looking for. Is like what your experience is with grassroots football. I mean, that's all we know. We've enjoyed professional football as spectators,
as watchers, yeah.
yeah. And I mean, look, I don't know if you've seen.
I can see you all, yeah.
I've got my signs United 92, 93 poster.
Yellow and green.
Yellow and green, Newton Heath colours. So yeah, as you know, I'm still bloody obsessed with it, and I'm still I'm still playing. Are you?
No, I've done my cruciate, so I've not got it fixed, so I can't play anymore now. Although I did go out and buy myself some trainers, some shin pads, and some socks last year to do a five-a-side, and I played for 20 minutes. Then I went in goal. Then I decided that I can't do it anymore. But it's good because both you and Paul both contact me regularly to talk me through the games you play and the goals you scored. So I hear from Paul in New Zealand.
Oh God, I know he's banging on about that at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
He's. I mean, I remember which team was it that you played with me? Was it
it was the Asian League one?
Right. Oh, brilliant! I wasn't sure whether it was them or MTV.
No, it was the Asian League.
Right. Which was
that was the end of my playing career, because that's the day after I went to do six-a-side and I did my cruciate. Because I came back all big-headed because I'd played with you in the Open League and ran about, and I was so cocky and proud of myself going home. And the following day, pride comes before a fall, did my knee, and never really played properly again after that.
I mean,
You ended my career, David. You ended my career.
I know, I'm perversely quite glad I was there at your last game. We were on the same pitch, and just for the record, because you're not. I mean, I'm 45.
I'm 63.
You're nearly 63.
I'm 63 next week. Yeah.
And when we played then,
it was before my 50th.
Yeah, but. Yeah, so I've got a 13-year-old son. We're not going to play in the same football team. It's not going to happen, and I don't think it happens for many people. Does really? No. We did it. We did,
and I played with Paul as well.
Oh, in New Zealand.
No, in England. Before he went, he came up one weekend and he played for the Wetherby Athletic team.
Oh, right.
Team. Yeah.
Did he do well?
He did. He set me up for a goal, which I missed, which he reminds me about to this very day. How he set me up with a golden chance and I fluffed it.
I mean, you didn't ever score many goals.
But I can remember all 7 of them. And I can talk you through every single one.
You've talked me through them before. That's okay.
I've probably scored more own goals than I've scored goals in the other end.
Yeah, own goals. Right, let's go. So there's a bunch of questions for this thing.
Yeah.
So my name is Dave Allison. My location is London, Camden, London. And my job, I produce comedy shows. Not a lot of them very much now, because then audiences aren't allowed to get together.
No.
So
my name.
Yeah.
It's Pete Allison. I'm David's dad. I live in Harrogate, North Yorkshire, and I'm a business analyst working in IT.
You work in it.
In it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I design solutions to big companies' processing and
I'm
systems.
not interested in that.
I'm a solutions man.
Yeah. We know. I know that. Next question. Next question is like about background.
Yeah.
Of playing and when started. So, but I started playing football for the Cubs. I mean, to be honest, it was the only reason to join the Cubs. It was the football team, and we won. We did win. I think we won something, and you were involved with that as well, weren't you? I mean, you were always.
Well, I started the football at the Cubs, so there wasn't a football team at the Cubs. Or if there was, it was run by a lady at the Arcala, which wasn't very good. So
she was about 90.
Yeah. It was a Catholics Cub group, and we only had 11 boys in the Cub set. So everybody in the Cubs played football. So we couldn't be selective. Yep. Everybody played, and they all had to attend. So there was discipline and rules of attending, and that's how we started. Yeah.
So what? Hang on, but if there was no strategic, what was your job then? If there was only 11, it's just like turn up and we all play.
I had to get 11 to turn up. The hardest thing is get 11 to turn up because not everybody wanted to play football. So I had to coerce people, get them to turn up. We had to buy kit. We had to buy the footballs.
Oh, the green. It was a green kit.
It was the green kit that we all selected, and we all got different size shirts for the different ages because the Cubs were 8 to 12, if you remember. So when you started off, the first 2 or 3 years, you lost every game. And then in the last few years, you won all the games because it was all to do with size and age because you played 8 against 12-year-olds.
Oh, right.
There was no age.
Oh, so there's no demarcate. Yeah. So that it's just whatever Cub pack it was.
Yeah.
And so when we're all the same, yeah. Right.
So we lost a lot. And then the final year, we won everything. We won the league.
And was it a league? I thought it was.
It was a league game. Yeah, home and away.
I have no. I think there was a final. There was a final. I think. Or
It was a cup. We had a league and a cup.
Right, and we won a cup.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I think we won the league and the cup the last year you played.
Right. Because I think I've still got a trophy for that. For the
I think it was down to my skills as a coach, trainer, and manager, as opposed to you lot.
Double. You got a double.
I got a double.
Yeah, I have only a vague memory of the cup final, and I think because there's some photos of that.
More than likely,
and you make up a memory of.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever scored a goal for Cubs. I don't think that was a thing.
Well, you were mainly the defender, the big lad at the back.
Oh.
Because you were replaced by Mark Ellis, if you remember, after you left.
What? Mark Ellis?
He was my big boy at the back, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, God. And Mark, I remember when, was it Sandy Lane or was it Cubs when we played up in the hail?
Yeah, and he just squat down and turned his back on the
just like,
yeah. I have to remind him he was my big boy. He had to get up and face the weather because nobody else would.
Inspiration. He needed to be an inspiration. Oh my goodness! I mean, we did play under harsh conditions.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No changing rooms, nothing. Just got out there and played. Yeah.
And then, so beyond playing for Cubs, I mean, when did you start playing?
I didn't really play for my junior team. I played for my senior team. That was only because a friend of mine got in the team and I thought I was better than him. So I applied. So I ended up playing for my school team. Got trials for Leeds boys as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, yes.
Yes,
I remember now. Yeah.
but I played fullback, so I got picked as a fullback. But then the teachers complained for the schools that sent boys as fullbacks because I'd gone as a goalkeeper. But I was actually a fullback, so I could play in both positions, but they wouldn't let me be picked because I'd gone as a goalkeeper.
Bloody admin.
Yeah, teachers from schools objected. Harsh.
So we
After that, just played pub teams. Then eventually, the highest I got to was Yorkshire County Amateur. When I used to drag you and Paul all over Yorkshire, playing for Rawdon Old Boys.
What was the name of the team?
Rawdon Old Boys.
And Rawdon's a place near Leeds.
It is near the airport, yeah.
Right. And how did you get in with them?
Just someone at work. So they said, come along. So played for them for a while.
And what did you make friends that have lasted?
No, it was a disaster. There was a clique there, and I didn't fit in because I had two little boys that I was dragging around, whereas everybody else was a young man.
Right.
So I didn't.
Me and Paul were playing.
Yeah. You held me back. I could have been a star.
Yeah, we were there. I mean, it's not like we were there happily.
No.
We were just like, oh God, we're in the rain.
You go and play. Why go and play football? Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow something rubbed off, and I learned not to take my kids with football. That was the lesson. I think
so. Yeah. We shouldn't drag young boys all over Yorkshire on a Saturday afternoon in the cold wind and rain. Yeah.
But when I was playing probably at a similar, when I played at a similar, I mean, you'd have been early 20s doing that.
Yeah. So I was just looking at it, I think it was 83. So I was 25 when I started the Cubs.
Right. Yeah. And I was 8.
Yeah.
But you were playing.
I was playing well, yeah.
When did you stop playing?
The day after I played for you.
No. When you were playing.
No, I stopped playing about 28 because I broke my leg. And then I went working for myself, so I couldn't afford the insurance to miss work. I
remember that breaking, because you played on.
I broke my leg at Thackley and then came back and played again later on for about 10 years. No,
but didn't you play on didn't you play on after breaking your leg or something?
Oh, no, they wanted me to. I hobbled off to the side. I couldn't stand on one leg, but the team still thought I should come back on because I was letting the boys down.
Yeah. And I broke my leg playing. Which one was it? Was it school? I think it was at school. I can't remember when. No, it wasn't. It was playing for NVA. He was playing for NVA, and but you don't believe it's broken. You don't. You think, oh, it hurts a bit. I'll maybe just get a wet sponge.
Well, I didn't have the thing where I heard a crack.
Right.
And I checked my shin pad was intact, and it was. I said, I think I've broken a bone. And I tried to stand up, and I couldn't stand up. And then they dragged me off the side and just left me there.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes, I had that experience of coming off, and it continues. The game continues.
Oh yeah.
What can they do? Because there's no one with any knowledge or experience to. So this fucking hurts.
There was no trainer. They just dragged my boots up, which actually tore all the ankle ligaments, which was even worse than the leg break. And then that was the longest thing to heal was the ankle ligaments.
Oh God! If only you could sue.
And then trying to get someone to drive my car home was great because they all had things to do, and it was your nan's birthday. We drove over to York, so I determined I was going to drive over to York, but then we had to go to the hospital to get my leg set, and then they made me sit and wait for 3 hours because I'd brought it on myself.
Ah, right.
Even though I was showered and changed, I told them I'd been playing football, and they had no sympathy whatsoever.
Oh, tell them nothing then. That's the advice, isn't it?
I
Don't.
told them it was rugby. It might have been different, but football badly represented.
Yeah, don't ever say when you get injured that you chose to do the thing that
No,
caused.
no.
I do remember you coming back home with a pot,
Oh yeah, that was awful.
and it was quite dramatic. And probably I would have had no idea of the implications, what that meant.
Yeah,
I think I'll probably sign the pot. I don't know. We might have done
more than likely. Yeah,
some sort of scribble. I mean, so all the background playing for me, a big deal was after the Cubs going to Sandy Lane, and I can't remember how that actually came about or what, becoming aware of it. Do you?
Yeah, it's your schoolmates. Used to play against certain guys at different schools, and I think wasn't it Jason that kind of asked you to come and join Sandy Lane? So you went along, and then I went to watch. And
because I wasn't. It was. I'm sure it's middle school. I'm sure it was at middle school.
Just a minute.
Bedtime.
We're recording something here.
I beg your pardon.
It's all right. This is going to be the star. She's stolen.
She wants fame all the time.
No,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think we was at middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jason Mickaby wasn't.
It wasn't at your school, but your middle school used to play against them at Beckfoot and all the rest of it. And I thought you'd made friends with somebody, and they invited you to come along to play. Obviously, we knew them from Cubs anyway, didn't we? We played against Jason in Cubs. First Bingley.
Right.
First Bingley was the top team because they had 2 nights at Cubs and they had 30 players to choose from. We only had 11.
Right. I mean, I still never have Jason as a point of invitation or.
Oh well, I don't know then. I thought.
No, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But it's interesting, the sort of.
It came through you, and then I went to watch. Then I got involved that way.
I mean, and so Ken was the manager, and his son Leighton was in the team. And as a team, Sandy Lane. Well, I mean, the club was really impressive, wasn't it? They had a number of different ages.
Yeah.
Of
lots of people put a lot of time in to build it up from nothing. Yeah. From one team to multiple teams over years. Yeah.
And every season there was a presentation evening, and even if you didn't do anything special, you got a trophy. Everyone got a trophy for anyway. And then there was player of the year, runner up, goal scorer, clubman, which is brilliant. It's brilliant because it enables an appreciation of the returning loyal, hardworking, basically the ones who are not that good at football.
They're never going to get a trophy for being a good footballer, no.
But they're always there, and that kind of community feel, was excellent. And I know, I know I am pretty competitive. I know I get that from you. and it's often quite untrendy, or there's a concern, men to competitive. I think it's health. I think there's a health. It can be delivered in different ways.
I think one of the things that questions later on, the things you learn is that there are times to be competitive and times to be more relaxed about it. And the beauty of it is knowing when to do one or the other. I used to play in different teams, and I used to be ultra competitive. But in other games, if I knew it was a friendly game, I would play friendly.
Very friendly. I mean, if you're not a player,
I would give them space and time.
no, but not if you're not a player playing against you being friendly. What I mean is if anyone who hasn't played at all, to try and understand what playing friendly is this isn't a criticism.
No.
But it's just an abstract sort of thought, isn't it? It's like I'm gonna play friendly in a friendly game. It's
Well,
like, so what?
If you're not playing friendly, you're competitive. You're in people's face. You get lots of physical contact, and you're kicking and pulling at people, and trying to put them off. When you're playing friendly, you don't, and you let them get the ball. You give them time to control it, and then you let them turn around and face you. And sometimes you take it off them. Sometimes you let them go past you, but then you take it off them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like playing with your kids, isn't it?
It all sounds very noble, and I don't know. Maybe the different levels of what competitive is, because I don't think I can switch it off.
Ah, well, there I see.
Right. I mean, I don't think you can really. You're saying it. It's
I still win, but I'm just not as aggressive.
Yeah, there's not as many bruises.
No.
With Sandy Lane, and you, you got involved, of course.
I did,
and became. What was your job title?
Assistant coach. How's that? That sounds
right.
pop, doesn't it?
So assistant coach to Ken.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you were very popular. To be fair, just as saying that you were very popular with the lads, and it's like Ken, manager, and he got probably.
I got all the good stuff. I could come and talk to you, see, and then tell you off, and then have a word with Ken on your behalf, and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, you must have loved that.
It's what we do today. Yeah.
Not the actual.
I never like being the top man, but I don't mind being second in command. And
and then bitching about the manager.
Never played both sides. Yeah.
And so I was son of you, and I mean there were all sorts of accusations that Paul Ken, and Leighton, he's in the team because his dad's a manager.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, there were better players, but to be fair, Ken put a lot of work in to making it all happen, so he's not going to do it if his son's not involved. What's the point?
Well, I had the problem with Paul, didn't I? Because Paul was in the age group below you. So again, I had the issue of watching him, but I couldn't really get involved when their manager was awful.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's tricky because you do want your lad to play, but you do also realise how good they are and how, if there are other better players. But it's tricky because you want.
There's a bias. Yeah, I mean it's a natural. But I mean, even so, there's also logistics as well. It's like players who are going to be, they're going to turn up. They're not going to drop out. They and at that age, it was because the parents were reliable.
Yes, we had a good core of dads who used to turn up on a regular basis. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you more credit. A big advantage I had with anything that I was pursuing, playing football, was that you'd be there and you'd take me. And it was really fascinating when Bradford City had a thing and there was like some money was put aside by an Indian businessman to give to the first Asian footballer for Bradford City, signed up by Bradford City. And because I'd gone to different trials, Bradford schools, Yorkshire's stuff, and there's a real underrepresentation of the Asian footballers and the population of Bradford. And there were some really shit hot teams. You know,
I played in five-a-side competitions where there were all Asian teams, and they were brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely stunning players. And you're thinking, why have I never seen any of these in 11-a-side games?
Yeah, and it was there's a real curious sort of anomaly with Bradford City, and I still don't think to this date
there's not been many.
Like 20 grand. I don't think it's been claimed. I don't think Bradford have managed.
I think they have. I think they've had a couple of Asian lads play, but not many. Not many
right.
at all. And I think the cricket's the same as well. Yorkshire cricket.
Yeah, well, I mean, Asian families. You know, this was a thing. Getting to know and understand, living in Bradford, the Asian families, their parents were not driving them to football.
No.
They were pushing them hard at school to become doctors and lawyers. But football, they were doing it on their own.
Generally, when the lads got to an age when they're in late teenage years, they'd find their own way there. Yeah, but by that time, you'd kind of lost it a bit. Really, they're like the 11, like the 5-a-side, 6-a-side, but not necessarily 11-a-side.
Yeah,
but you get to like your teams where you're playing in the the Asian leagues in London, where they kind of get together, but they're in the 20s then, aren't they? Which is just for social stuff.
Well, that's when I mean that was a big eye-opening shift for me. So having played with Sandy Lane, we went to Russia. We went to bloody Russia with.
We did. Was it first English boys team to be invited to play in Russia?
Yeah, it was mental though, wasn't it? Was it 1990? Was it 1990?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's about something
about 14, 15.
Yeah, and so no one had been to Russia. No one. No, I mean, I'm not just within the whole group. No one we knew had been to Russia.
No, not at all. No, we actually had meetings with people who had been before to ask them what to do. I got some tips, but I remember a lot of the boys when they went on the flight got their passports out, and the pictures were of babies because they'd never actually been abroad. Oggy had one where it was just a baby, so he's 14, 15, and he's got a picture of a 4-year-old. It's ridiculous. And that
it couldn't look much different.
No, just bigger.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, and it was just Ken. It was Ken's pen friend.
Yeah, he lived in England, and then his parents were Russian and took him back to Russia one holiday and never came back. And
then between them through letters, conspired to say, "Oh yeah, bring your football team over. I'll find a team to play against."
And they did.
And somehow we did. And I've always been shocked. How on earth you dads persuade the mums to let that happen? And there was no CBD checks or anything like that those days.
No.
there's no checks. There's no checks. We went to Russia.
I think there was 5 dads, wasn't there?
I don't know. We
about 16, 18 boys, and I think there was about 5 or 7 dads. That's all.
And so, who was the most competent dad?
Oh, obviously me.
Honestly,
Ken, me, Gerald, Frosty, and Holmesy.
Yeah. God, Frost and Holmes
sound like they're detectives, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they well established. I mean, they were all quite established men
Oh yeah.
in their
I
businesses.
think about it. I was 32. They
Oh,
must have been mid 40s to 50.
yeah, yeah. You were the youngster
And
with.
then we had to play football as well, which was a nightmare. That wasn't planned against
Well, yeah,
those.
they didn't
Remember
all.
that big Igor guy I had to play against, that big Russian
Yeah,
ex-convict?
it's a monster.
He was a big boy. Yeah. Frightened the life out of me.
Do you know what I've learned? Do you know what I've learned
Good.
fairly recently? You know when there was all the toasts, the vodka toast, and it's like Naka team. Do you know what that means?
I think you told me a few weeks ago, isn't it? Some sort of slur or insult or something.
Oh, it's horrendous.
All right.
So I've since going to Russia, I've been very. Oh, I know some Russian. Spasiba, thank you. Yay!
Why did the grown-ups tell us it then?
Well, this is what I'll get to. It was Igor. It was Igor who was doing the toast and then suggesting what we toast. Nicotine is a signaler to remember a massacre of Polish people in the town of Katyn.
All right.
So they're going Katyn. So it's yes. To all those Polish people we slaughtered.
Lovely.
And for 30 years or whatever, 30 years, whenever I've met a Russian or a Eastern European, I know, I've been to Russia, I know a bit of Russian, and that's one of the words. Oh, it means cheers. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
dear.
No one has said until one day, pretty recently, talking to someone from the Ukraine, because we went to the Ukraine, that with Kharkov and someone from the Ukraine and someone from Poland, and they were horrified when when I explained what I knew.
Yeah, well, luckily I've never had that, because I had family in Holland who used to teach me Dutch words that meant awful things, so I never used to repeat those either. So I learned early. But I did do it on the Russian trip. So there. But one of the good things about the Sandy Lane thing then was about going to Russia. Can you imagine how that opened up for people? We had lots of lads there from different backgrounds, from wealthy middle class backgrounds to poor backgrounds, and Sandy Lane was a home from home. Where they didn't have the boots, the kit, or the train, all the track suits, and we made sure that everyone felt part of the family. So it was
What do you mean? They didn't have.
No, there's lots of kids Sandy Lane couldn't afford.
Oh, I see.
We used to have the hoodies. Remember the tracks?
Yeah.
Lots of kids couldn't afford it, so we used to get extra money, and we used to do hand-me-downs and all that sort of stuff. And we always made sure that lads had the kit. No one didn't have a kit or a tracksuit, and that wasn't
until we got to Russia when it was stolen.
Oh, hit by the mafia. Yeah.
We had all this. So we were all quite fancy with our shin pads and our boots and our.
We had the England tracksuits. Yeah.
We had those fake England tracksuits, and we're in Red Square and get swarms of people coming thinking that we were the England youth team or something,
and we didn't tell them we weren't. Yeah.
Of course not. It's okay.
England, yeah.
England. But then when the kit was stolen from the coach, just before the game that we only played one game.
No, we played 2 or 3.
Well, I mean, we didn't.
You played at least 2 that I remember.
Really? I think we only played 1.
No, you played 2.
I mean, we lost it.
We lost them all, yeah, badly.
We didn't win anything. But the game, and maybe it's just like that game where our kit was stolen and our opposition, they gave us their kit.
Yeah, they were told to, yeah.
And it's not that they didn't have football boots generally.
They had like kind of plimsolls with rubber
There
soles.
was, there was barefoot players,
Yeah.
but they were men. They were men in comparison to us,
Oh yeah.
and destroyed us.
Yeah.
There
Remember
were
when they gave us that big urn of salt water for half time?
salt water. Yeah, Russia.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But no.
Salt water was a thing.
Yeah.
That was.
And we weakened out when we asked them for water that wasn't salted.
Like, can we have? Made a little request. Can we have some water with no salt? No salt, thanks.
I'm sure it's good for you. It replaces all the sweat and the salt that you lose when you run about. But no, we didn't like that. It's like drinking seawater, so it's not good.
The vodka was more prevalent and available than actually non-salted water.
Yeah, the moonshine vodka was good.
Yeah, and we shouldn't have been drinking what we were drinking, and this is down to you, dads. You weren't protecting us.
Really? Okay.
As well, you were protecting us as much as us lads wanted.
You have to give a little bit of leeway.
Yes, yeah, we were all in it together. Yeah,
yeah. You were watched, but yeah.
we were watched, and we learned a lot. Oh God. There's questions. I forgot about the question.
Yeah.
So, current team. I play Monday night football or Tuesday night football. I play different 7-a-sides every now and then, and haven't for ages because it's all been locked down. But I'm on lists. I get emails, and I'm looking forward to getting back in those. And they're all different groups, and it's great. That's a big part of the social connections with it.
Yeah.
Not everybody. There's a lot less social now. It's because these are like 7-a-side games on.
I think nowadays people turn up and then go home, don't they? When I used to play, it used to
even have a wash.
No, used to kick lumps off people and then go in a pub afterwards or the bar and then talk about the game, and that 20-yard goal that was scored. By the time you finished talking about it, it'd been hit from 45 yards. It was great.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's missing. It's missing in the grassroots game now. Is the exaggeration, the over celebration of minor things.
Yeah,
I think society suffered because of that lack of space to enjoy that.
I think a lot of people travel too far for the game, so you end up going in cars, and so once you've finished, you want to get away. So it's more for your team to get back to where you come from, as opposed to mixing with the opposition. So it's not as friendly, sociable anymore.
Yeah. My adult playing then went to the playing for MTV, played for a couple of pub teams, played for university, but then the biggest thing was going to NVA, the Asian football club, which you ended up playing.
I did, yeah,
as well. But how bizarre or incredible that was to who knew there's a North London Asian football league with some non-Asians playing.
Yeah.
And I was one of them with one of the teams. And I reinvented myself as a player, because when I was playing up north, I wasn't known as a hard man or a thug or
I can't think why
physical, but with NVA, I was their hard man. Yeah, I was the only one who would header it. And when playing up north,
you wouldn't take the fish supper, would you?
Yeah, barely had it. But my size, my height was became a different sort of asset.
Well, Paul plays centre half for his team in New Zealand, and he's no centre half. But there you go. So when you move teams, you can reinvent yourself. So that's the beauty
Yeah.
of it. If you got the confidence, you can just say what you want.
Yeah, yeah, and I've loved that, and I've loved the confidence it's given me because I'm pretty decent at playing. To go, oh, whatever team, I will not shy away from. Yeah, I'll join in, and you know, and some are better than others. Most games are shit, or not. You know, in
Quality wise.
the level. But yeah, joining NVA was fantastic, and then all of a sudden I've got like 10 Asian mates in my team.
Yeah, opens up a world, doesn't it? Yeah, it's good.
Oh, totally, and that led to going to Rajesh, the captain's wedding in India. We went for 2-week holiday, and it was incredible as a experience. As a wedding goes, it's the best. No one's going to have a better wedding. No one. 4 days with camels and elephants and islands and boats into the lakes. Yeah. It puts a lot of pressure on to,
To top it, yeah.
Yeah.
I find the longer I've not been playing football and people haven't seen me play football, I get better and better at telling my stories. It's great.
Yeah.
Away.
I'm wearing
Yeah.
So this must be CCCP is before Russia.
It's the Soviet Union, yeah.
And so that means it's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great quality, to be fair. It's a bit sweaty. It's a bit stinky.
You should have put it in the wash earlier.
But this must have fit. This must have fit then. So look at me. I'm still able to fit into. It might have been big back then. But better understanding and mutual respect. Has life transformed, or have you transformed life? You've transformed lives, Dad.
For the better?
I don't know about that.
No, it's quite nice. I think when you had your reunion game a couple of years ago, it was nice seeing all the guys again. And some of them still send me messages on Facebook after all these years. That's nice. On different birthdays and events.
I forgot about that. That was a 25-year anniversary or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went up to Bradford to play with guys that I'd literally not seen.
Yeah.
For 25 years, and we're in a changing room and we're putting our shirts on like the old days and playing against the junior the
year below you.
The year below us, but we knew them as well.
Yeah.
I went to similar schools and all of that.
Yeah, it was quite surreal for us dads because we turned up and these young lads are there and they've got the wives and babies with them, children. Yeah, children sometimes 8 and 9 and this sort of stuff. So that was a bit strange.
It was fantastic. I forgot about that. I mean, there's so much with Sandy Lane.
Yeah,
was extraordinary, and it's only since and having an opportunity, to speak about to talk about it. It's like no one else has shared, and no one. I mean, all of the guys who were in the squad or the team, but there was so much with Sandy Lane, and I've mentioned in the application for this thing, it's like, my best friend Jamie, I met him through Sandy Lane.
Yeah,
and he's my closest friend now. I was his best man at his wedding. He's just had a baby. He's just had another baby.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he's got another boy. So he's got 2 kids now.
He'll have another Jamie and Robin then.
It's Jack. So he's got Alfie and Jack now. They're the names of the 2 kids he's got.
Yeah, but like he had, and say he had brothers, didn't he? So he'll be used to having 2 boys like you and Paul. So yeah, he'll be going down the football club. He'll be taking over.
Oh yeah, he's been posting pictures of Alfie kicking a football about, and obviously declaring how he's future England star and all of that. But yeah,
I think the thing with Sandy Lane was good. I say when you mentioned the question, I had a look at them, and I was thinking about the challenges. I suppose is as someone who's not trained in football, having to do coaching sessions with Ken and yourselves, that was quite difficult to make every coaching night fun and interesting and prepare people for games, making you do things you didn't want to do. So again, you have to coax people into doing things. You have to, the discipline side of it. I remember at the Cubs making some lads go off the pitch because they were either getting, argumentative, they were kicking people, not doing as they're told. So we'd send them off for 5 minutes until they apologised. Or you'd have dads telling their lads to play somewhere different to the managers telling them and stuff like that.
Right.
Having to leave them out.
Oh God! Remember when Malcolm sent his own son off when he was refereeing?
Oh, more than one.
Yeah, which was hilarious. And then Graham was like, "I'm going to tell Mum."
They were always arguing, weren't they? And again, remember, Malcolm was a Football League referee.
Yeah, I know. As in Malcolm and Gerard, you know, 2 of the dads of the lads were actual professional referees.
Yeah.
And when Gerard disallowed a goal by Jason.
Gerald, not Gerard. Gerald.
Yes, okay. Gerald Taylor. And Jason.
It was on Match of the Day, wasn't it?
No. Not the Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Thing. No, when Jason Rickaby, in our team, score, it was an incredible goal. Took it round a few.
Socks weren't pulled up.
Yeah, he took it round a few people, then banged it in from outside the box, hit the crossbar. It was like sensational.
Character building is what he said. Character building. You'll pull the socks up next time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what. He cancelled the goal because his socks were rolled down.
Yeah. And that was before the rules of having your socks above your shin pads. This was back in the.
He just made one. It was just like a made-up rule as far as we were concerned. It's like
it was, yeah. We all thought the same, Dave. Even the dads on the touchline couldn't believe that one. So that was
everyone thought, what an arsehole.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, Jason scored enough good goals, but
it was a good one. Yeah. Well, Gerald's the one who made me take up refereeing. Because when I was arguing with him, he said, "You can't argue with me because I'm a qualified referee." So I went off and did the referee's course and came back and argued with him. As you do.
Yeah, I mean, as you do. That's your MO. Yeah, right, I'll show you. Yeah. Oh, what's
I almost got thrown off that course as well.
Why?
There was the one about intention. So I said, well, what happens if someone shoots and the ball looks like it's going in and the defender runs and dives full length to handball it, but it doesn't handball it and the ball goes wide? What do you give? Do you give a penalty or do you give a goal kick? Because it's all about intention. And they said, bloody stupid, it's a goal kick. I said, well, it should be a penalty because he tried his damnedest to handball it.
God, that absolutely sticks in my head for arguments about, because the intention, you drilled this hard because it's same with handballs, and or fouls, and you might have gone in for really malicious tackle, assault intentionally, but didn't make contact, you should still be punished.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I can threaten you. I'm going to punch you is a sending off offence.
Yeah, well, in criminal law, you know, and I went on to study, and you know, the what people don't know about assault, the attempt or the threat of it is an assault, and it's a concept that I mean, God, football overcomplicates some of these things now.
You think about the school ground. When I used to play in the playground, handball was basically if you got an advantage.
Yeah,
so
right.
If it hit your hand and you kept possession, it's handball. If it hit your hand and ran off somewhere, well, that's just the way it is. You know, just play on. So yeah,
which I think
they could learn a lot from the school ground football. Yeah,
I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah. That's it. I think when you don't have the proper rules of someone officiating, you do make it fair, unless you're bigger than them, and then you can bully them to get your own way. But generally,
that was me and my brother. Yeah, that's how I justified things.
I think, just going back to the Cubs, then you're on about how does it change people? I remember the Cubs, and again, we only had 11, as I said before. We actually left our main goal scorer out because he wouldn't come to the Cubs night, so we wouldn't pick him. So we often turned up. I've forgotten his name now. I know he played up front, but he wouldn't come to the Cubs night. So our Kayla said that he can't play the football. So we only had 10 players some games because he wouldn't go to Cubs. But the thing is, with Cubs, just saying there, we have different players of different ability, and it's amazing how well the lads adapted to that and help the other ones out. I remember Paul Harrington scored a hat trick.
Who?
Paul Harrington.
Oh God, Paul Harrington. Do you know what he got? For Christmas one year, he got a pack of drawing pins.
What?
And everyone in the class took the piss out of him. I mean, because his parents, it was like the year of Live Aid, an Ethiopia charity things. So they made a decision to the money they would spend for Christmas, give it to charity.
That's a bit harsh. Yeah.
And so when in class, Paul, goes around the class, oh, what do you do for Christmas? And he said he got some drawing pins so he could put some posters for the electric. And and everyone's. But yeah, so Paul Harrington scored a hat.
He was definitely not a good footballer.
No,
I remember playing him up front, and he scored 3 tap-ins. And I remember the lads in the team, when he came back in, they all stood and applauded him in, and it was brilliant. Amazing. A memory for life of someone who's never going to play football ever anywhere.
Yeah. Oh God, that would be yeah. I'd love to hear that from him. I mean, I don't know.
I remember telling, because I was refereeing, and I just kept saying to him, "Go to the far post, go to the far post, go to the far post." And basically, the ball came and hit him 3. No, he actually spit the ball to the wall. I think he could have scored 6, to be honest, but he only got 3.
Yeah.
But I think the way it does it does build character, and it builds, as you say, friendships for life. And I think everyone then tolerates people who are not as good as them. There's always someone better than you. And I think you learn to play to people's strengths. So you play with somebody. I played in a pub team where my best mate, he was probably 5 foot, no height at all. And we both played centre half. So we had to work out how to do it. So basically, I was the big thug. So every time a ball came, I had to go and challenge for it. And he just swept up. He got man of the match every bloody week because I took everybody out and he just picked the ball up and played it out. And it was excellent.
The glory that has just been close to you throughout that you've created, all of these people, and that
it's a solution thing. You work out how to get on with people, and you work out how to achieve something with what you've got. And sometimes it's not a lot, and you also take small pleasures and victories out of things that aren't victories. So we could have lost, but there's lots of times we came away and just had great fun because we weren't the ideal duo to play centre half. But
Oh, I think the moments have been like the underdog and achieving a success, and it happens.
Mm.
They're the best. Well, I mean, I've played in teams, and winning was normal. And yeah, great. But the greater satisfaction has been when you've fought with a bunch of guys and got a result against the odds.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's a glorious defeat as well. You know,
yeah.
and you've lost, but you come off and you all go, actually, it's been a really good game. We did ourselves proud.
We put it in. We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's right. I think the grassroots football. So this is an audition for saying something about grassroots football. I mean, I think both of us, we could just talk forever about it. Like, this is everything. It's everything, and it's
funny how it works out, because say obviously with Cubs football, there's a certain way, and obviously I didn't play because I was obviously too old. So I managed that. Then with Sandy Lane, then we played Vets football, and I said before I went on to do Wetherby Athletic boys football, and then I did Vets football there, and it was the same principle. We formed a dads team, so we were in the pub typically. We said I'll have a game, so we had 14 blokes. Half the blokes had played previously to different standards. Half the blokes had never played. They just liked football, and their sons played for Wetherby. So then we had to have the rules of, so what do we do if you have a vets team? So who do you pick? Do you go looking for friends to make up the numbers, or do you play with what you've got? So we had to have a policy of everybody plays half a game. So you could be playing really well, holding your own, as it were. Then all of a sudden, you got to bring on two dads who had 3 left feet between them, and they were shocking. And we were playing teams like Harrogate Railway, who play in the FA Cup.
Harrogate Railway.
They play in the FA Cup.
Yeah, no, I mean the legendary. I think
seriously, you're taking the mick now, or what?
Both.
But we had a thing where we had 14 dads. They would turn up, and you used to have roll-on, roll-off players for subs. There's no limit. They would have 30 blokes at the side of the pitch who were all decent players. We played them in 2 weeks in a row, one in the league where we beat them 2-1 in a really close fought game. The following week, we played them in the cup, and they had a completely different 15 lads turn up. And the lads we played the week before were on the touchline, ready to come on as subs. And we had 14 players. So even on football, it gets quite serious. But then we had the thing where we just had local blokes, lads, who just played and enjoyed it. But then a lot of them had to pack in because the other ones got too serious and started maiming people. So, of course, people then couldn't go to work. So, again, people take it too serious. Again, playing serious and playing friendly.
Yeah. Did you win the cup? Did you lose the cup game? You won the league game and won.
Yeah, we won the league, but we lost the cup.
Yeah. Good.
And mainly because we arranged to play Harrogate Railway when they were playing in different cups, so they had to play a slightly weakened team. But they could. They had 3 or 4 different teams. But yeah, the thing is, it builds character and it builds camaraderie, and you learn to get by with it, don't you? You got to make your rules how you got in life.
And I think learning to be mixing with other guys, people from different places, so
places, abilities, opinions.
There was a school team for me. There's a school team, then there's the club team, and then like I mentioned about the Asian team, the common thing is wanting and loving playing football, but there's so many different stories of life and experience, and there is conversation outside of the football. You end up find, so what's it like living in Harrow with
a bad internet? Your internet went funny then. You're frozen. Hello? Yeah, you're frozen. You muppet. Actually, saying that, mine's not plugged in, so mine could have gone quite easily, but at least it was yours. Yeah. Have you got enough? The only other thing I was thinking of was, again, think about the work-life thing and what have you learned from it and what you take. Odd little notes there mentioned about coaching. The one was like picking a team. I remember Paul Voitas, the classic, where we left him out and he said, "No, you've not left me out. You've dropped me." And I remember that to this day, because we had, I didn't want to leave him out, but Ken did, and I had to go and tell Paul, and it was that sort of awful thing. You dropped me. So, well, we left you out. No, you've dropped me. It was awful, So things, it does teach you things. You have to do, you have to tell people bad news and make decisions. And sometimes you don't like the decision you're making, but it's a committee decision, and you have to pass it on, don't you, and live with it. So, yeah, there are lots of compromises.
It's a burden. Yeah, that's. Oh God, what? Oh,
yeah. So basically, again, if you think if you're chatting away, I think you do find.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Where's the mic? Are you muted?
No.
Oh, right. Oh no, that's not.
Can you hear me?
Speak.
I am speaking.
You hear me?
Hello, 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 hello.
Why can't I hear you? Nope, 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 nope. Oh, this one.
Can you hear me now? Hello, 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 hello.
La la la. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I can't hear you. You are probably muted somewhere.
It doesn't say mute. It's fine.
Right, I'm going to take you out of the screen. Can I hear myself? Put that back in. Right. Hello, hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh no. God. My edit mic settings. Edit.
Is it?
No, I can't.
No.
Right. I'm gonna end the broadcast and then start again and then see if that changes.